there's always light at the end of the tunnel, because there always is, man. You just got to be strong and then fight through it. But it was a hard time, which for me personally, like I turned into, man, like someone that I wasn't, you know, like after I broke up with Amy, and then a bit after that, I went into obviously like a meltdown in terms of like drugs, you know, alcohol, and, you know, not believing in myself, becoming someone that I wasn't.
All right, here we go, guys. The Turning Point Podcast, episode 4. We've got a new guest here. This guest is another fellow father, but also another PT. Now, I am accompanied by another PT, but also on top of that, this man loves the World Cup. So I don't even know what the hell he's doing here. But, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jono Castano.
Thanks for having me.
How are you, brother?
Man. I'm good. I'm missing the World Cup for this, man.
I know, bro. I appreciate you.
It's better be good.
Oh, it will be.
It will
I mean, we were cooking some stuff over there sitting down.
No,
and I told you, like, shut up. Because there's going to be a lot of juice coming out of this one, I reckon. But before we do get into the juice, man, to give us people a quick spiel, like, who are you? What do you do, man?
Jono Castano. I've been a PT 15 years now, and obviously built my own brand. It's called Acero. Got my own gym, as like yourself as well. And for me, I'd say you could dibble and dabble. Like, I'm an author. I wrote a book. I talk, and I'm like, I hate talking about I don't know how you feel, but of my achievements. Like, I actually hate being like, oh, this is what I've done, X, Y, and Z, because you know what? Like, for us being PTs, I'm like, what I'm really proud of, and this is not me talking shit, is like, you know what, when we actually help people, that's when I feel good. But me writing, like, whatever it is, it doesn't, I don't know, man.
I hear. And I mean, I feel the same way sometimes, but I always realize you feel good through service.
Correct. That's it. Just,
That's
hey, man, you couldn't have said it better, man, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's, again, why I think we came into this gig. And I think that's why you wrote the book, because you knew someone on the other end is going to read it and get something out of it.
Correct, yeah.
And that's why you're here today.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll add on to that, and like, it goes back to like when the best moment I felt with that book is someone actually reached out to me. They were part of it was a jail in New York.
Oh wow.
And they're like, look, some of the inmates, you know, we want them to kind of be positive, and we want them to, you know, restart like the way they think, and they're like, look, can you send us over like, you know, 40 whatever it was. And I was like, for me, when I got that email, I actually felt a lot better, like that moment there, when I actually wrote the thing, you know what I mean? So those are the moments that really kind of like, for me, I'm like, fuck, that's worth it.
Have you heard back?
No, I haven't heard back.
That'd be fucking
Maybe it was
interesting.
a scam. I don't know,
brother. I think it was, man. I reckon that's I reckon reach out, bro. That's fucking sick. And I would go and see if you can go to that jail. But man, let's dive into you, bro. Because you've had many turning points in life. I think one of the first ones would have been when you were 7. Is that when you came to Australia?
7 years old, for sure.
Like, you know, people would hear your accent now and go, "Oh, you're an Aussie," but you are an Aussie, probably. I mean, you would probably say you're an Aussie, but you are true to the bone, Colombian.
100%. I still call Colombia home, man.
Absolutely.
And I eventually want to be honest, like retire there, because for me personally, like, you know, when I go there, I feel like this is home. I feel like Australia's an amazing place, great, good, but Australia is a great place to work in terms of, I can never feel like I ever feel relaxed here. I don't know how you are as well, but I'm always go.
Yeah, man.
But for me, turning point would have been when I was 7, when my obviously dad, you know, migrated in '96, 2 years prior, worked his ass off to get me and my brother and my mum over, which for me personally, like we spoke about before, is like those risks. We don't see people taking risks like that anymore. Everyone's so kind of calculated and so controlled in their actions that you never really see actions like that ever. And you know, like for me, even like, you know, like I would have to think twice. 3, 4, 5, 20 times if someone wants to be like, hey, Jono, you don't know Italian, and you're gonna you're gonna just go to Italy, and you don't even know where you're gonna be working. Yeah, like fuck, man, that's
it's fucking scary, brother.
Fucking man, you know.
But like we said, like that's the real risk. You know, no money, no guarantee. You know, but you know, people nowadays like will go, oh, we're gonna move to Dubai. But you know, deep down, there's a plan B.
There's a plan.
The Australian Centrelink, if you come back with no job, there's still a plan B.
There's still a plan B.
You know,
100%.
So nowadays there is no like genuine risk taking, because at the end of the day, you can go with no money.
Yeah. What do you reckon that's because of? Is it because of like, is it social media? Is it because of like, what do you reckon?
I think dead set, John. I just think there's just such a layer of security now. Like we're just like, everything is very soft. dropped. Like, you know, if you make a mistake, you know, you'll get off charges. If you make an error at work, it's okay. You got a warning. Like, there's no genuine hard, like, you've effed up.
Like hard chat.
Like, that's one of the reasons why I left the army was because the standards dropped. Like, to get into the army, the standards dropped to allow more people in. Yeah. And I said, well, if I'm 20 kilometers pack marching and someone can't carry their pack, someone's got to carry it.
Well, you're going to, yeah, exactly.
All right, well, I'll carry it and someone's got to carry them. So at the end of the day, like, there's no genuine risk anymore. If your dad fell over and couldn't make it work, he's out there on his own.
That's it. No one gives a fuck.
So he's only got one choice. Make it work.
Make it work. Do the job. Get paid, or else you don't get paid at all.
That's it. So that was your turning point, man. Like, coming here to this country, you didn't know English.
No, español nomás.
That's it. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, y tú?
I don't know what's after that. But like, tell me a little bit more about that turning point, man. Because like, you're 7, you've come to a country, you would have started school, right?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, to be honest, like, I go back and I rethink of memories, and for me, the memories that I remember was. I think it was, to be honest, like, it was getting bullied, man. It was being like, okay, cool, this guy doesn't understand one bit of thing, and it was getting bullied. That's kind of my memory of, like, back in when I was in, like, you know, those early years, and because there was also a time where I was close to repeating as well the same year, because they're like, oh, look, he's just not developing enough, and my parents were like, nah, fuck this, we're going to take him to another school. And then they ended up doing that, and I'd end up repeating that year. But you know, for me, when people talk about, it's just, to be honest, like, just getting bullied because not knowing the language.
Yeah, crazy. And see, and like, when you came to Australia, people know you obviously you got the gym now in Kenzo and stuff, but you weren't from there, right? Where are you from?
So man, my dad first place he went to was Mascot, not far from the airport, because he didn't know. He probably didn't know. He's like, let's just try to land. But then I ended up moving across to like Liverpool. So Liverpool, Canling Heights, all those areas out west, and because I was a sporty kid growing up, I played soccer my whole life. And that's all I knew what to do early on. And so I went out west, and then it was a time where, like, I look at my life out west, and it's like, okay, if I stayed out there, the way that I was probably thinking was probably very different, because I look at my mates out west, and they're very safe, the way their actions, and they're like, cool, this is us, we don't want to take any risks, like we spoke about. They're happy just to stay there. Barbecue's cool. I love that. But they're not like, fuck, okay, I want to, you know, I'm training a guy that's worth 200 million. What can I do, and what can I learn from him, and what can I adapt into me building my business to make it successful? And I feel like allowing me to move to the East has really taught me that, and it's taught me, like, to learn from these people on how they actually made it. How are they living in $100 million property? How did they do it, man? How did they build their business? And I feel like a lot of my mates that are still stuck out west, they're still stuck in the same mentality out there in terms of, which is fine. I don't, mate, for sure. Like, I respect anyone, but, you know, for me personally, I couldn't stay out there because of, like, what I wanted to achieve.
Fuck, there's so much gold in that. I think the biggest thing that I've kind of captured from there is, number one, like, your circle of influence is going to dictate your next steps.
Amen.
So you still probably, you know, respect those boys, love those boys, but it just wasn't the influence that you needed and wanted at the time. Then, so you took the decision and made the turning point. In that moment, you went and did your thing, what your true passion was. But then you said, well, if these people are making it, what would need to be true to be able to make it then? So you just literally studied the person, studied them.
Mirrored them.
And I think that's one of the things that we are so lucky to have as PTs is the proximity to those people. You are literally hand on hand, like skin on skin with these people. Why not just talk to them about their life? Because you will get so much information from them.
And they're happy.
And
they're
happy to share it, man.
Because they're not there fighting against anyone else. They want you to achieve. They want you to freaking be successful as much as them.
Man.
And that's what you get with a lot of successful people is they're not scared to share their knowledge. They want you to win as well.
Yes.
You know, it's
true successful people.
Correct.
True successful people want people to succeed.
Exactly. And that's what I've realized, you know, even like, you know, throughout my career of training, like, you know, influential people, that's what I've always felt. And they're like, we want you to be better, Jono, you know what I mean? And when they see me kind of like, you know, going through doing the wrong things or whatever, they pull me up on it when, other people, my other mates wouldn't, because they wouldn't understand of running a business and how a business should be run, you know?
I love that. Now, you mentioned a $200 million person. Who was it?
Well, man, fuck, you could talk about Sir Richard Branson, you know?
Yeah.
So I spent a bit
how the hell is a bloke from Liverpool coaching him?
Man, like for me, it was one of my goals to really focus on people at that level. So the way I started was, and I think anyone should do this. I literally started off by reaching out to people on sliding into their DMs. We started off with I find anyone influential, but obviously like one person then led to another. Then, you talk about a guy that I trained, Hugh Sheridan, led to Rebel Wilson then led to someone else led to someone else. And before you know it, it all landed in Sir Richard Branson. So it was like just kind of one of those things. It's like, if you're doing a good job, people are going to talk about it.
100%.
Because these people they want to work with people that are trusted and are good at what they do. But yeah, so once again, man, like it's been an unbelievable career, and I really, wish trainers can kind of learn and really understand that wasn't an overnight thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that was like done through. You're talking about. I just said in a minute that was like a 10-year span.
Yeah,
that I spent 10 years just knuckling down, writing to people. If they didn't write back, then cool, next one. Who's the Daily Telegraph talking about? Okay, so that was a whole time of me just going in and out, focusing on that, and that's what I wanted to do.
I love that, and you are right. Like we did just spill this out in a minute.
Yeah.
And success doesn't just happen overnight. Like, by the way, congrats, you're on 1 million followers now.
Yeah, I know, man. It's been
a
good
watching
journey. It's been a big journey. It's been a huge.
But that didn't happen overnight.
No,
you know what I mean? So, like, when you were training Richard Branson, like, what was your following at?
It would have been around 550 to 600, I reckon, back in those days. But then you go early on, like the Veronicas when I was first starting off.
Yeah.
And they were the it thing, man, back then, They were freaking absolutely killing it. They're the best people as well. I was early on. It wasn't even that big.
Yeah.
And then that's why I talk about people collaborating. The best way to get out there is like, why don't you collaborate with people? Because if they're going to post you, then their following is going to see you. And this was early days, right? Like when people weren't even understanding this.
Yeah.
But that's why I always say the best way to grow is collaborate together, man.
That's it. And I think your net worth is your network.
100%.
So like if you're out there, you're talking, you're collaborating, you're building your persona, your person. Now, Jono, we do want to talk about another turning point that you've had, man, and you've made it quite public.
Yeah.
Where, you are now, you're in your best shape. You're really working hard with this journey now, but, call it maybe the last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
You went through a bit of a tough patch, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I think I feel like throughout my whole life I've been dealing with tough patches. Like we talk about my first one, getting divorced. Number one, Amy's my best mate. We're best mates now, and to even do that is huge. That was one obviously one of the hardest things I've ever done. And
like to stay on Amy, like Amy's your business partner as well, and on top of that, like you guys are very close still.
100%. Yeah.
People from the outside looking in, obviously you both got big
they
following.
Find it weird, man.
I was about to say they would find it weird.
They find it weird, man. And then we get
why
judged.
Is it not weird?
We get judged all the time.
Judgment's great, but why? Why is it not weird for you then?
For me, why isn't it? I always believe in a saying: it's as weird as you want it to be. It's as simple as that. I don't find it weird, so why should it be weird?
Yeah.
It's so I've always kind of believed in that, and I always kind of create my own scenarios, my own kind of thought process on what I actually should be feeling. So I've never thought of it being weird. And even my partner now, you know what I mean? She's very understanding. And I'm super grateful that I've got an understanding partner, because not many people would be like, okay, cool, you're hanging out with your ex, you're tight. Do you know what I mean? That type of stuff. But I would say that was obviously for me one like hard moment. Then the next one, what was the next one in terms for me personally? I guess for me, breaking up with my ex, with my daughter, at early age, right? Which then led to, as we all know, like people go through such a hard time after that, because it's like, okay, who gets to, how often do you get to see a daughter and what's going on? And obviously with mine, it was a lot more public, because obviously there were certain situations that went online.
Because you're both public, right?
Yeah. So unfortunately, but you know what? I think a lot of people don't really understand the family law process, and it's a hard one, because a lot of people think, like, fuck, man, to be honest, man, like, lawyers, they're not cheap, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, lawyers are super, super expensive. And when you see, like, a lot of stuff kind of, when you lose a lot of money and you think, like, fuck, man, my parents had to work so hard for this money, and now this money isn't going to my daughter. That's when it really affects me. But everything's been sorted out now, and that's why I tell everyone, man, like, there's always light at the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel, because there always is, man. You just got to be strong and then fight through it. But it was a hard time, which for me personally, like, I turned into, man, like, someone that I wasn't, like, I went through after I broke up with Amy, and then a bit after that, I went into obviously like a meltdown in terms of like drugs, alcohol, and, not believing in myself, becoming someone that I wasn't.
Yeah.
And
be, like, just staying on that, because like that hits home for me with my mum, because that's how I lost my mum.
Sorry to hear, man. Yeah,
no, you're right, brother. Like, why in that moment, like, why do you think you went to that?
I think it's probably the easiest thing for me, because, as you know, like, I don't know, even, like, talking about using drugs and stuff. I think when you do drugs, it takes all the pain away. It pauses your mind. It takes you for that split moment, for that split day, or whatever, however long you're using. It stops you from actually the outside world, and you feel good because you're like, fuck, I don't have to think, I don't have to take responsibility, I don't have to do any of that. And so it kind of, for me personally, I enjoyed that feeling of, finishing work, and then because I'd have so much time on my hands for the weekends or whatever, I'd be like, fuck, man, I don't want to think about this. Like, I was covering myself and masking myself with my work and my clients, because they keep you busy, they keep you positive. And then as soon as you're alone and you're at home, it kind of,
the thoughts start to really eat you alive, and then all of a sudden,
and then I turned, and like we spoke about, I turned into that, and it was only probably, to be honest, like, meeting my partner helped a lot. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yeah, it really helped a lot, because I found someone that kind of understood and the reason why I was doing it, and not judging.
Yeah.
Not being like, oh, you're a drug addict, or you're an alcoholic, or, you know what I mean? Not judging you.
They understood you as a person.
As a person, yeah. They saw deeper.
Not just the actions that you're doing.
Yeah. And so she helped me a lot, man. And I'm in a great place now, which is, as everyone can see, for me, I'm very kind of transparent about everything, I think when I talk on social media, I talk about my lows, my highs. If I was using drugs, cool, I'll talk about it. Okay, cool. Because I feel like if I can help someone, man, like, that's what it's about, right? That's what social media is about.
That's why I had to ask you, like, in that moment, why did you go to that? Because I know that there's a lot more people out there than probably, they would admit that are doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And when I lost my mum, I'm a Muslim background, but when people hear that, I was kicked out of home at 18, they go, well, your parents wouldn't do that to you. Well, it did. So sometimes things happen, and that's why I want to ask you, because it sounds like it was the mask, it was the Band-Aid for that moment. Did you have people that were close to you that you could be you to?
I think for us is, man, sometimes we want to be that person that people, that you put out, like, say for example, you put out that you're a, you're a happy personal trainer, you're a happy business owner, we want to kind of continue that image. And
it's hard, man.
It's hard, man.
I get you.
It's very tough, so you kind of don't really want to let anyone know that you're struggling, because you're like, fuck, I put out there that I'm this positive, uplifting individual that, every morning vamo, you know what I mean, that type of stuff. Bro. So then that person that is actually online is actually not the person that you are actually in real life. So I kind of felt that a lot, and that's probably the reason why I kind of didn't really kind of escape it for such a while. And to be honest, I'm like, one of the best moments during even my recovery was telling my mum and dad. I actually said, like, hey, like, mum, dad, man, like, I haven't been well, I've been using drugs, doing things, and then once I kind of told them, man, just the weight off my shoulders, and then understanding, and then being like, it's okay, I think that was probably for me.
Fuck, that's big.
Like, it was fucking so good, man. Can I express on, like, opening up on how good that felt for me, and that really helped me get back to full recovery.
For sure, man. Like I still know, like when I was growing up, I used to hide the stories of my mum being a substance user and my dad being in jail. People would ask me all the time, like, how your parents must be proud about what you're doing, mate. I said, yeah, they're fucking proud as. But I would be lying.
You'd be lying, yeah.
And it wasn't until I said to myself, like, just stop not being you and just be unapologetically you now. Like, just be okay with telling your story, be who you are, accept who you are, accept your parent, accept your upbringing. All of a sudden, I couldn't give a fuck.
That's it.
And I became happier. Right? So now for you, man, like, let's just turn to your little one, because I know your little girl, like she's almost the same age as my little one. These little things give you the best joy in the world, right? You could have the worst day, and I used to hear it all the time. Like, you have the worst day, you see a kid, it just lightens up your whole day. Like, obviously, like you said, man, like the family process through courts and stuff sucks. Going through that phase would have been hard. Like, you know, who's got care of the baby, who doesn't, and you probably got like a few hours, half a day, whatever it is, and then it feels very transactional, right? And you're on a timer. It's like, fuck it. And you're not really present, are you?
It's that's always in the back of your head, you know what I mean? Because once again, you want to spend more time with them, but you're on a timer, and it's like, you know what, like sometimes you feel like, you know, it's I during that time I feel like I was a criminal at times, you know. I'm like, but I'm not. I'm like, fuck, man, I love my daughter, and I'll never do anything to my daughter. Like, I want the best for her.
Absolutely, bro.
I'm working my ass off to give her the best future, you know, and to be even like that, which, like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, like, I understand, like, you know, people make mistakes and everything, but to be put into those situations where you can only see your daughter for X amount, and you can't do anything either, you know. No matter how much you fight, no matter how much you cry, no matter how much you do, you can't do anything. So what I've learned to do was just, you know, as much as I'd hate saying bye to my daughter, I'd just make the most that I could and just be there for her, man. Like, and you know, to this day, I think, you know, everything's been, it's thank God for everything, because everything's been great now. Like, you know, now that I'm so much better, I can see my daughter more, everything's been resolved, court orders all done, and I feel good. And, you know, everything's like just back to normal and back to being the best version of myself. And that came through me just believing that, you know what, I'm just going to be present. I'm going to be there for my daughter, and I'm going to just continue to show up. And no matter what happened, I was, fuck, mate, I knew something good was going to happen from this. And it did. Sure. I feel it's not the end, man.
It's not.
I get so many guys calling me up and asking me about the situation, because obviously when it's online, it's like
it's everywhere.
So it's like everyone calls me up and tries to ask me for tips and everything. And my advice is always like, you know what, like, a lot of guys, they kind of they don't want to pay they don't want to pay any money to the ex. And I'm like, this, you got to really, you got to understand, like, the money's not going to your ex, it's going to how your daughter's going to be brought up. You know, you want to put her in daycare, you want to put her in stuff. And they get really affected with that. They're like, no, I don't want to give her any money. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, but you have to, you know, because that's kind of, you know, like, you know, anyways, but that kind of just infuriates me now.
Yeah.
It makes me angry, because it's like, you know what, I used to be that mindset with the first year of being like, nah, I don't want to, you know, pay X amount, because first of all, I couldn't afford what she was, but I didn't want to pay. And then now I'm like, you know what, cool, have whatever you want, because I'm like, mate, I want the best for my daughter.
Yeah, 100%. I love that you change that mindset there, bro.
Yeah.
Now let's just like focus more on your gym.
Yeah, let's.
All right.
More of a happier.
Let's because I really do, because I know you were sharing some fucking awesome shit over there.
Yeah.
About what's coming for you guys, but like, I think you opened up 2021.
Yeah, it was about that actually. During that, about that.
Because we were opening up about the same time. Like, I think because we opened up our doors at early 2022 in Feb, but we were building during COVID. So I think you would have probably been doing the same thing.
We were too.
Now, what was the change for you? Like, what was that turning point going from like PT? Where were you PTing at the time? Like,
I was at a place called Soma in Chiffy Towers.
Yeah, right. And then you, what was that decision to go from like that to like, hey, let's open up a gym?
It kind of, I was actually meant to move to Los Angeles at that point. I had done all my things to move over to LA and do one-on-one PTing over there. And then this opportunity came where Amy, she was training downstairs at a boxing gym in Kensington, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, hey, look, there's people upstairs that they're moving out. They're gonna clear the way, and then this is how much it costs. And it was like something ridiculous, about 4,600, whatever it was anyway. And then we were like, fuck, I looked at my books and I'm like, fuck, okay, so I'm earning this much. And I'm like, fuck, we could actually do this, you know? So that was like, you know, I was like, cool, this could be my own space. It's, you know, COVID, it could do one-on-one. And then that gave me a bit of belief, because for me personally, I'd never think I was going to own my own gym. You'd tell me like 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever. I'd never thought that I was going to own my own gym.
Was never your goal?
Nah.
Really?
I'd always thought that I was, you know what, I'm really good at one-on-one, and I never thought that and it's a true thing. Until you walk the road, you won't know the feelings that come around it.
Yeah, man.
And then now that I've walked the road, and I'm like, fuck, why did I not do this 10 years ago?
Because the funny thing is, as a PT, people think like the next step from like filling up your books, being busy, is to open up a gym.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always have to be the case. So for you, it wasn't actually like set on your like goals, but it just so happened to just work that way.
Yeah, it did, because when we was first opening up that gym was meant to be just for me. I was gonna just create this whole.
How big is it?
It's close to about yours, about 300 square meters.
Yeah.
It's big. It's big. But I was like, you know what, cool. There was this guy in LA, Gunnar Peterson, that was doing his kind of thing one-on-one. He had his own gym, and I was like, fuck, maybe I could replicate this thing as well. Yeah. And then just have a gym just for one-on-one. And then this guy reached out, and he's like, oh, yeah, I want to work under you. And then it kind of just happened, like, and then this other person came into my life, and then we hired them, and before you knew it, we had 4 trainers. But I think the beauty of this story was, man, like, you look at the gym when we first opened, there was like so many things, half a boxing ring like missing. Yeah, there was like machines that were broken, like things that weren't even like, you know what I mean? Because I couldn't afford to create, you know. So slowly we built the gym. But it's so good to see, like, it just shows you, once you build like trust within your clients, they don't care where you train, man. If you've got techno gym or you've got X, Y, and Z, they couldn't care less. Man, as long as you're there as a person, they don't care, man. And I think for me, that's what I realized, especially transitioning to thing. But then, because I think what we were it was not many gyms doing like one-on-one personal training. Like Vision was doing it, but no one else. And Vision, like, don't get me wrong, like amazing, cool, but their branding and stuff, it's like, you know what I mean? It's not the best. But we kind of created like a safe environment for people to do one-on-one. Yep. And I think for us, we really nailed that, and we really continue. Like right now, what do we got? 20 trainers now? 20 trainers. Yeah, awesome. So man, we kind of grew, man. Like we kept growing and growing and growing, and we just it's a crazy story as well. Like obviously, like we spoke that in 2 minutes, but there was always up and downs as well. Like when you're running a PT business, you could have some high ones. Like months could be like this. And then some months could be lower because you don't have a current membership that's consistently paying weekly. You're getting packs. So you're getting $6,000 packs, and then cool. And then, all right, there's maybe 2 people that sign up that month, and then so you're eating into your cash flow. So it's like, it's a tough thing to do. Yeah. Very tough thing to do.
And for you, like, is it just that one location at the moment in Kenzo now?
Yeah, so one location in Kenzo. But, you know, as mentioned when we were before, we signed onto a new space, which is amazing.
Have you mentioned this on socials yet?
No, we come out with it next week. We do the thing come out next week, so it's totally fine.
That's all right. This won't come out. This will come out afterwards, so you can use it as marketing.
That. But once again, it's one of those things like we spoke about. You get to a certain level, and you're like, you reach it, and you're like, okay, cool. Now what next? And then for us, we're like, you know what?
So this is a new turning point.
New turning point for me.
And I mean, like, without telling everyone how much the rent's going to be, it's at least almost 10x, no more, 20x.
Yeah, exactly.
20x the current rent.
Yeah, like
which is crazy. So you're like, and this is the thing, because all I'm hearing is early Jono being a PT was just thinking small. But now Jono is just thinking, what's next?
What's next? Yeah, and that comes to like you know, you're very close with your community and the people around you, you know, and that's with me as well. You know, like these people help me believe that I can achieve more, because without Amy, without the crew, without all my trainers, if I didn't have a good team that I felt like, okay, cool, we can actually tackle this and actually make this successful, I wouldn't be as confident to take a decision to make such a sacrifice in a space. Because now we're, you know, like we look at this space and we're now, rather than being a boutique gym, we're like our competition is Fitness First, Virgin Active, One Playground. Like we're now in that realm of gyms like that. You know, so
that's
now
sick.
our new, like that's kind of our new turning point now.
Yeah,
and it comes to, you know, like it's like 6 years, but you get to that feeling, as you know, you start to, I walk into my gym now and I'm like, I walk in there and sometimes I feel like, fuck man, I know we can do more. I know we can do more.
Yeah, and we're at that stage now. I'm getting those feelings.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, like, how important do you think it is having the right people around you?
I think it's, you're, as they say, you're only as good as your team, man. It's so true, because my team complement me and they help me obviously be better, and because they help me keep my standards. You know what I mean? Because they make me, they're the ones that keep pushing me to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and do 12 sessions, 14 sessions a day, whatever, you know. They're the ones that keep pushing me to do that. But without, like I said before, I can continue saying, without them, nothing's possible, man. Because as you know, creating a positive working environment is it's important, man. Because
100%.
I've been in some other gyms where it's like, fuck, like in the PT industry, man, everyone's against each other.
Oh, it's dog eat dog world sometimes, and it shouldn't be like that.
That's it, man, and that is what's out there.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm sure, like you look at your, like in your how many people have left from your gym, like in terms of trainers? Like I'm assuming not many, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, in the infancy, like in our first 1 to 2 years, definitely. And I would say that was because of me, though.
Yeah, but
that was my leadership.
Yeah.
Whereas now we've got a rock solid team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
rock solid team.
And same with us. You know what I mean? Like we like to keep our people, and it's because we provide such a good environment for them.
Yeah.
Because I actually care. You know, like I want, like you, like for me, I take their stress on. Like they've got a mortgage. I want to help you fucking make your repayments.
Absolutely.
You want to feed your baby. I want to make sure that you've got enough to feed your baby. So we take all that responsibility when they're coming up to you. Hey, John, I don't have enough leads. I don't know if I have people, man. Like for me, I take that stress on and I have to deliver.
That's it. I love that. And why do you think you have to take that on, man?
I think for me, it's just like, I don't know if it's from my upbringing of like just always wanting to make sure that everyone's all right. I don't know if it's like a thing that with my parents, but I always got to make sure everyone's all right, man. I don't know how you are, like when you're kind of like at a party or whatever, but for me, I'm always like just going around in your cage. Do you need anything? Do you want water? Do you want to drink? What do you know? That's the type of person that I am.
I love that. Yeah. It could also be your ethnicity.
Yeah, Colombian.
The Colombians, man. Hospitality. I went to Colombia once.
Did
I went to
where'd you go?
Cartagena.
Yeah, Cartagena or Cartagena?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cartagena. I was trying to understand how you said it.
Cartagena. Yeah. I probably said it incorrectly. But that was beautiful, man.
It's amazing, man.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But
what's the but? What do we got?
No, the but was I went and got a coffee.
No,
don't chuck no tantrums, I promise. But I went to go get a coffee, and then I turned around and I missed the whole group. So we were with we got off the ship.
Yeah.
So we went there through a cruise, and we got off and we spent the whole day in Cartagena. But we got off, and one of the things is like you have to stay in a group.
Okay.
Because if people come past you and sing with you,
if
you look at them, you got to
that.
pay them.
They
you have to. So I came up to my wife. She was pregnant, and they were playing, and I was laughing. And she's like, "What the fuck are you laughing at? I'm scared." I was like, "Just relax, just relax. You're an easy target because you're looking stressed." Anyways, so they left us. Then I went to go get a coffee because I said I can't come to Colombia and not get a coffee.
Yeah.
So I said, asked the guy. I said, "Mate, where is the nearest Colombian authentic coffee here?" He goes, "Around that corner, but you can't go." I said, "No, I have to." He goes, "All right, go. But you got to meet us in it's called the town square or something. It was like the main area." I said, "All right." So I went there, got the coffee, and I said, "Fuck, which way was it again?" And I just started to make my own directions, and all of a sudden I ended up in a back street. And when you get lost in a country where you shouldn't get lost, you start to get a little bit worried. And then my anxiety just went, phoom, and then I was like, fuck. Now I don't know how to get back. And now I'm in Colombia lost with my wife who's pregnant with a coffee. And my anxiety is already through the roof. I'm like, all right, let's fucking do this. And all of a sudden, all these the gangsters start to roll in. And I'm just like, fuck, what am I going to do here? And I said, boys, she's pregnant.
Is it? Yeah.
And they said, all right.
Well, yeah. And they're like,
And they let me go.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's the trick.
So that's
just say my wife's pregnant.
My wife's pregnant. That was the trick.
Fuck, fair enough. Yeah.
Lucky.
Which is once again, it's a beautiful place, but then at the same time can be quite
100%.
Which once again, I'm not just naming Colombia, but anyway,
man, far out. I went to South Africa last year. Same.
Yeah, same, man.
You know, so it doesn't matter where you go.
Including Sydney. Sometimes Sydney can be dangerous too, you know what I mean? So, we can name any country in the world that is dangerous.
Fuck, there was a shooting just the other day in Punchbowl. I don't know if you saw that video.
Exactly.
That was crazy. That was crazy. Anyways, all right, let's dive into another thing here. So for you now, man, people will look at you from the outside in and go, all right, like you're a PT, but you're killing it on social media, and then you're in the Maldives, and then on top of that, you've written a book. How do you balance everything?
Yeah, it's probably my issue.
Like, aren't you tired? You're waking up at 4 a.m. every morning. Yeah. No, you wake up earlier.
Yeah, I wake up. Do I get tired? Don't get me wrong. I feel like there's days where I do, but it's one of those. We actually had this conversation the other day. It's like when you get used to being super busy and doing things like 10 things at a time, it becomes easy. And you kind of start to be like, this is actually easy. And that's the way that I feel about things. I'm like, cool, can do 10 sessions, come to a podcast. I can go to dinner after this with my clients who are taking me. And then I can wake up tomorrow at 4 a.m. in the morning. Yep. The way I think of it isn't hard. Like there's no thought process of me being like, fuck, that's actually an insane day. Like that's actually quite hard. Like that doesn't go through my head. But then I ask someone else of like, okay, go do 8 sessions and then automatic their brains being like, oh fuck, that's too many hours, there's too many things. And that's where I feel like I've like throughout the years I managed to kind of adapt to keep myself thinking that it's not hard. And I believe it, man. Like to be honest, like there was times where as being a business owner, like you're there late nights, you're there early mornings, and you're writing a book, and then you're going to the Maldives, and then you're doing this training camp here, and then you're doing this. But that's part of the journey, right?
That's
what
right.
I mean? That is a journey. That's the journey of being a business owner.
Yeah.
It's and I also want to be a good role model and example to my workers to be like, fuck, if Jono's doing this, well, fuck, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
So for you, man, like, because again, you're in the PT game, you're on the floor, you're doing the thing. If a client then turns to you and goes, "Hey, John, I don't have time. I'm very busy, got kids, blah blah blah, can't do PT, doesn't work for me anymore, whatever." What's your response on this now?
I'm like, as we saw before with Mark, and I'm pretty straightforward and straight shooter, and I think people really respect that. I always say to answer that, I'd be like, you're just making excuses for yourself, and you're trying to make your brain feel like, okay, cool, this is okay to do this. Like, this is okay for me to be too busy. We're all fucking busy, man. Like, you know what I mean? And I use another example. I like to use examples because I feel like when you use one, people really understand. Yeah. There's this her name's Amanda, and she's a lawyer. She's a business owner. She just gave birth. She's got a daughter doing Stairmaster, like 15 minutes. She trains 3 times a week, has a husband, goes out. And I'm like, mate, if someone like this is fitting 2-3 sessions a week, like there's really no excuse for you not putting time aside. And I think people I always feel like people want to, like, people hire me because I tell them stuff that no one else tells them. Mm-hmm. They're a CEO. No one's going to tell a CEO on what they should and what they shouldn't do. But for me, they actually, oh, fuck, you're actually right, Johnny, you're actually right, you know? I think that's why people really enjoy me kind of being around, because I just tell them how it is. Yeah. And I think, do you think not enough people get told how it is enough? Yeah, yeah. As you said, we live in this environment of fucking, sugarcoating everything. Like, everyone's babied. You're doing great. But when you're actually fucking not doing anything, you know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. You've done a great job, but fuck, you didn't fucking do anything. Yeah. Do you know? It's like, imagine my dad, man, my fucker, growing up as playing soccer, man, like I'd have it like a good game and be like, that was shit, you played shit. Yeah. It's like, that's the way that I learned. Nothing was ever good enough. Yeah. Nothing ever in my life was good enough. And I think I love that, because like, it's only the best for the client. Sure, right? Like if you genuinely just mean like, hey, like,
I think you're just trying to convince yourself that it's okay to just have a rest.
100%.
But it's not.
No.
Because you came to me and you said you wanted X, Y, Z. You put the pressure on me to get you the result. And I'm here to put the pressure on you to get the result, but you don't want the pressure.
That's it. And I always believe, man, if you don't want to take the pressure, then don't train with me. Go train with someone that's going to accept that behavior.
Yeah.
Is always my thing. I
love that.
Just, man, there's other trainers out there that are going to accept your whinging, man.
I love that. I mean, if there's a lesson to be taken from that, it's like you've set your standards.
That's it. And, you know, and I think for me, like, that's what people talk about. Like, when you go train with Jono, he's actually going to he's going to be truthful, and he's going to tell you as how it is, even if you don't like it.
So, and like, let's just say another PT is watching this, because something's come to my mind now. What would you say to them to like be able to get their standards out of themselves? Like, what would you tell them to do to go, if a client came to you and they said, I have 2 referrals, they want to come and train with you. What would you want that coach to do in order for them to uphold higher standards for themselves?
I think first of all, they got to know what actual good standards are. I think they need to write down on what that actually looks like. Because, you know, if you have no fucking idea what standards are, what are you even going to kind of use to mimic? I feel like if they can write down what good standards are and then kind of read that over and over and over and over and over and again.
And like live it. Yeah.
And that's when they're going to really understand on what good standards are.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us kind of say things and we actually don't even know what the feeling of what it actually feels like or is, and then they were kind of just guessing.
Yeah.
And you find that with a lot of people that go through life, they don't even know what, you know, like, especially like when you did your fundraiser thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's amazing. And
thank you, man.
You know what I mean? Like those type of like direction, those type of feeling going through life is, you know, like for you, I view you as like an inspiration, but then there's people that just go through life and they don't even know like what they want to like, achieve. And you get a lot of trainers like this, man. I'm pointing to trainers because like you get a lot of trainers and like, I want to be a PT, but then they don't know what they want to do as a PT.
Yeah.
Because a PT is many things. Like what you did was inspiring. Like why can't other PTs have similar stuff, what they're doing to you?
Yeah, I agree, man. I think a lot of that comes down to like understanding your vision and mission, right?
Having a goal, man. A goal gives us fucking direction of what we want to do.
Oh, fuck. And I have it tattooed on me, but like direction is more important than speed because people go nowhere fast.
That's amazing, you know. And like we spoke about today, what we've both done, it wasn't done in 2 minutes.
Nah. I fucking wish it was.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
I wouldn't mind that.
Account was.
But like, it is important to have a level of direction. Yeah. A level. It doesn't have to be 100% clear, but at least understand where you're trying to get to some degree.
And that's why these things, like having a podcast and talking about this stuff is great, and why people should always listen to podcasts, because, you know, if you feel like you're the smartest person in the room, as they always say, you're fucked, man. You can always listen and learn and get nuggets from little podcasts, whatever, you know, whatever it is, man.
Oh, absolutely. Like I mean, man, you've been in the game for 15 years. Yeah. I've been doing it for 12 years. That's right, man. But I'm still learning things that you've just said as well.
And we're both happy to share. And
100%, man, 100%. What makes Jono's standards and like, what are your standards for you right now? Like when you go and coach people, what are your standards?
Such a really good question. I think for me personally, my standards, I've always had, you know, when someone trains with Jono Castano, they're getting the best service of not just a 1 hour session. They're getting a 24-hour person at their service. It's not just counting reps. It's not just A1, A2, B1, a program. It's about a whole lifestyle changeover for me. I think that's my standards. I'm a 24-hour trainer. I'm not a 45-minute. You message me, I'll respond back in 2 seconds. It's 10 p.m. You tell me to be there 1 a.m., I'll be there. You tell me that, hey, Jono, I fucking feel like training on a Sunday. I'm not feeling the best. It's 10 p.m. No worries, man. I'll be there in 5. You know, and I think for me that's always been my standard, just being a 24-hour trainer.
Yeah, right.
Rather than just, I'll call it that. And I talked about this quite a bit in my book about not just being we're not 45-minute trainers. You know, we're far more than that.
And I think that goes far beyond the like transaction of you've bought a 10-pack, or you know you're on a 2-session-a-week program or whatever, you know. And that's what we try to do as well, is like you're paying for a service, and we uphold a standard, and that's why we are so hard on you upholding your side of it as well, because, and I'm sure you guys do the exact same, but it's like, fuck, like we want to get the fucking result.
Well, that's what, 100%.
That's what you're here for, you know. But we also want to make sure that part of that result is also like relationship building as well. Like we want to get to know you, we want to like you, and you want to like us and trust us, and so that way this is like a fucking partnership.
Yeah, well, that's what it feels like, you know.
And it has to be that way.
Yeah, if you want the best results out of someone, it has to be like that.
It has to be that way.
For sure.
I love that.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I've got clients that sometimes they don't perform the best as they should, and you know, and I'm like, you know what, it does sometimes become a transaction for me, because I'm like, you know what, like you can only push someone so far. Everyone's got such different goals. Like, you know, there's some clients that are just happy to come in for 45, and which is fine. You know what I mean? Like,
but as long as that's the agreement.
That's the correct. Yeah, that's the agreement. You know, like when you came in here, it wasn't like, oh, you know, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z. It's just like, hey, look, Jono, I just want to move better, man. I just want to move. I just want to move.
Great.
That's it. You know, so I've got clients like that as well, and those clients, you know, they actually when I think about it, when you look at a full book of clients, is those clients are great because your energy is a little bit, you reserve your energy, because we've only got so much energy in the day. When you're doing 14, it's like, you know, so it's like good to have sometimes those when you're running a PT business.
100%. So for you now, Jono, like obviously early mornings, do you do late nights as well? Like what does your full day look like now? Yeah,
sometimes, like even like I guess talk about yesterday, like I finished at 2, like I started at 4:30, went all the way through to 2, which is, I think it's about 11 people. And then I, just to clear my head, get a bit of energy, I went for a walk around Centennial Park with another like colleague, and then went home for a bit just to kind of get some more fresh air, get out of the gym, because sometimes when you're in there, it becomes hectic. And then I went in for a 6 p.m. and then I showed a guy the new gym, and then I had an 8 p.m. and then I was up at 3 today. Yeah, man. So it's like you hear those days, and I talk, even the way that I talk about it, I'm like, it's not hard. No. But then you, like we mentioned before, it's like some people would think of that as like, fuck, man, there's no way I'm waking up at 3 a.m. if I'm going to bed at like 9:30 p.m. You know, but yeah, I would say kind of for me, I've always done that throughout my whole career. Yeah, man. Like even when I started, like when I was at Virgin Active, like I was doing about 72 sessions a week, you know. Right. And that's what I really enjoyed. Yeah,
you built the calluses.
But everyone's that's it. Everyone's different, and I understand that, you know. And like we spoke about, if you tell yourself it's easy, it's easy.
It's funny what the mindset can do, bro. It's funny what the mindset can do.
Correct. Because some of the stuff that you do, I'll be like, fuck, there's no, like, you know what I mean? I'll be like, nah. For you, it'd be like, that's easy, Jono.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest, like that 52-kilometer walk that I did.
Yeah.
Bro,
I look at that.
I look back and I go, how the fuck did I carry 52 kilos for 52 kilometers?
Well, that's what makes you different.
Like, you know I mean? That's fair.
Makes you different.
That's fair.
You know, you're already like at that 1%, 99% of people wouldn't do that. Yeah, 99% of people wouldn't do 75 sessions a week. They wouldn't do that. That's what
they
makes
do 75 hard instead.
Yeah. They say they do, but they don't do it properly.
But like again, we all have the same 24 hours anyways. It's just what you do with it.
It's what you do with it. That's right.
And it's your choice at the end of the day if you want to do 75 sessions or not. But so now, like, next step is that new gym. Yeah. When do you reckon that's opening?
Looking for a November open.
This year?
Yeah, this year. Yeah. Looking for a November open this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Looking for a November open, which is going to be good in terms of going into obviously summer. But once again, new kettle of fish, man. It's like new positions. You know, operations manager. You got a whole sales team. You got a cafe team.
That was my next question for you. Would be like, so you're the PT guy. But like, is there anything else that you do, man? Like, are you doing anything else behind the scenes?
Nah, that's all Amy, man. I give much credit to Amy because she's
that's a cool partnership.
She's the boss behind in terms of like meetings, like we spoke about Claude, you know, designing apps, designing websites, designing ads, you know, like content. That's all Amy, and then for me, I'm all the one-on-one side of things, more the networking side, which is a good team, and good teams are hard to find, as you know.
Yeah, I mean that's cool that you got the good understanding and alignment with your partnership there, because in that way you focus on what you got to do and what your strengths are, and then she does what she's got to do.
Yeah, I could never do that, man.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know how
mad.
you are, but I hate you with like technology and all that. I'm like,
see, the crazy thing for me, and this has been a hard change for me, is the identity shift. Yeah, because
it's tough.
I used to be the man. Right, I was the PT guy, the man. People would come to Frontline for Mo, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But I've had to make a decision where that I can't be that guy anymore.
It's hard to be that guy.
For the business to be where I want it to be, it can't be just
especially with your daughter, you got your wife, you got a lot of other things, man.
So for me now, my time is spent on team. Vision, you know, and then of course off the back of that, it's media stuff, content creation, all that kind of stuff. You're pushing that hard forward, man. But for you now, Jono, like obviously we know what's next, but what's next obviously is exciting, but where do people find you, bro?
They can follow me on social media, Jono Castano, Sarah, or, you know, just head down to the gym, man. I'll take you for a session, whatever.
Yeah.
If you need some help with absolutely whatever, man, I'm always that guy to be like, yeah, cool, give you whatever, 30 minutes, we can chat about whatever, man.
I love that.
Always happy to help, man.
I love that.
I think that's, if you go through life always wanting to help people, man, you know what, you leave this world a much better person.
100%, brother. And then if I've got one question for you, if someone's in the middle of like the shit, right? They're almost at the bottom of the barrel, whether it's through life, business, whatever, but they are very close to a turning point. What would you say to that person?
You know, I guess I would use, look at me mumbling, fucking struggling to kind of thing, man. I think because it just means so much to me, I guess, like when I was fucking going through that and what made me want to push. And for me, it's just digging a little bit deeper and listening to that person that's kind of just trying to like reach out to you and like with their hands and be like, man, fuck, you can do it, you know, because we all have that deep inside of us. Like you might think of it for like a split second when you're feeling like that, and then your mind automatically goes into that negative mode. But you always hear that inner voice being like, fuck, you can do it. I think just kind of just click